right, welcome back to Gold Standard Culture. I'm Chris. I cover the Warriors here. All sorts of stuff, reactions, recaps, just content in general. I do a podcast with my friend Dominic as well on this channel called The Culture Cast. He's a Thunder fan. I'm a Warriors fan. We talk about our teams, and we also talk about the rest of the NBA in general. A lot of stuff heating up with the trade deadline looming, so a lot of stuff going on there. We will be recording an episode tomorrow. The playlist to every episode that we have so far is linked in the description, so you could go check that out if that's something that interests you. And In the Moment Hoops is his YouTube channel. That will also be linked in the description, so go check that out if you're interested. Recap. Warriors Hawks played last night. First game for the Warriors in about a week. Obviously, Dayon's passing kind of took this team out of action for a while. Obviously, witnessing something like that. We've talked about it in the last video I uploaded. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough to say the least. They had a beautiful ceremony for Dayon and his family at a Chase Center. It was really nice to see. Pretty emotional. If you saw it, you kind of know. Players, everyone on the Warriors had a Milojevic jersey that they were wearing. Put it on the chair that Dayon would sit at during the games. It was just beautiful. Mike Dunleavy Jr., the Warriors general manager, going up to Dayon's family, handing his wife flowers, hugging the kids, just being there. It was really dope. And, all the players on the Warriors, including most foreign players, including Bogdan Bogdanovic, who plays for the Atlanta Hawks from Serbia, all wearing the DM inside of a heart patch on their jerseys. So that was really beautiful. Also on the floor and on the Warriors broadcast for NBC, you get to see that. It's just really nice, really tough to kind of bridge the gap between that and then going to play basketball because, just stuff like that is difficult to deal with. It's rare, and you never want to be the one a part of it. But that's the sad thing about life. Sometimes it just that's what it ends up being. So, this was beautiful, and obviously, I hope the absolute best for his family, and that they just kind of feel good. Seeing the love and the outpour of love from the NBA community, the Serbian basketball community, and just the basketball community worldwide in general, because Dayon's passing really hit everyone. So, yeah. But again, pretty difficult to bridge the gap there, but we're going to do it anyways. Warriors beat the Hawks 134-112, and to sort of draw back, this is one of those games where a lot of stuff about the Warriors. Do they want to win? Do they care about winning? Is Steph Curry still someone you could build around? All those questions had been coming up in the recent week, obviously leading up to their week off. But a lot of the stuff that was being asked and being said was that they just didn't have any more gas left in the tank, that they were just done. There wasn't enough to do anything, to make any moves. Wasn't worth trading anyone, all that stuff. And this is one of those games, man, where if you have the unfortunate, scenario that they had where someone like that passes and, you take a week off, you reset, you try to get your mind right and just, really put life into perspective and kind of get to the best point you can. And then you come out and you don't win. If you can't muster up the fight to win a game like that for someone who is as close to the team as Dayon was, then I don't know. Those questions then hold vastly more validity than they would have otherwise. Because if there's any game where the Warriors just go balls to the wall, all effort, 150%, play as hard and as smart and as perfect as you can, that would have been last night's game. And while they did win, the game was very far from pretty. The Warriors, everything that we talked about in the last video, everything that we've been talking about on the podcast for the last few months, still holds true. Very much so. Nothing has really changed in that department. Mind you, Atlanta was without Dray Young, who's out with a concussion. So they didn't even have to face one of the best point guards in the league, who's averaging like 30 and 10, as always, right? And is pretty much the number one engine of that Hawks offense, which is a top 10 offense when he's playing, of course. And the Hawks still nearly put up 70 points in the first half against the Warriors. They still dropped 30-something in the first quarter, and they went on a big-time run late in the second quarter, and it was just ugly. The Warriors, once again, looked very just not hungry for anything to start, and I was just angry, you know? I just want him to make a move, and for me, that means losing until Mike Dunleavy Jr. feels like I can't wait any longer. So that's what the first half felt like. Looks like we're going to be making some moves because the Hawks look like they have far more energy, that they're playing a lot more competitive. Like you'd think they're the ones that went through the tragedy, with the amount of fight that they were playing with, being undermanned as well. So it was a really rough first half, and I was extremely disappointed with what I was seeing. But the second half is where the Warriors really took off. And credit to them, Draymond had a fantastic game. I was very, very impressed with Draymond, who obviously, until that Memphis game, had been suspended because of the whole situation with Nurkic and all that stuff. Again, we don't have to go into that, but Draymond played great. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block, and it was a team high plus 19. And he continued to shoot well, man. Draymond's been shooting the crap out of the ball all season. And he went 2 for 3 from the three tonight, or last night. So that was really cool to see. Draymond, again, coming off of the bench, which probably isn't going to be happening for too much longer. So I expect him to be in the starting lineup again relatively soon. But he played great, and you need that. And the bench in general played really well. Bajemski, everyone, so credit to him. But one of the big things that happened that kind of helped the Warriors, just absolutely take over in that third quarter was Garrison Matthews. Garrison Matthews is shooting 40-something% for the Hawks from 3 this year, and he just had an 0 for night. 0 for 6 from 3, 1 of 7 from the field. He's one of their best shooters, and he just did not have it tonight. And it wasn't because the Warriors were playing some elite defense. They were wide open looks. He was just missing. And typically when the Warriors play a team, even like mildly good contests just mean absolutely nothing because they're typically lazy contests. So the Warriors tend to get punished a lot more on 3-point shooting than other teams. But tonight they really dodged a bullet because Garrison Matthews just couldn't find one. So that was pretty big. But the kind of star of the show that I wanted to talk about here is Jonathan Kuminga, who was perfect from the field. Had an amazing game. I've talked a lot about Kuminga, but he had a great game. This is, again, he's inconsistent. He has nights like this where, not to this extent, but games like this where you're like, man, he could be really good. You could just see he can be really good. Tonight, 11 of 11 from the field, became the first player in Warriors franchise history since Chris Mullin to be perfect on 11 or more attempts from the field. So shout out to Kuminga. Joining elite company, obviously Chris Mullin is one of the better players to play this game and one of the best Warriors of all time. For the night, Jonathan had 25 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Didn't even take a 3, which I like. Frankly, lean into what makes you better. I appreciate that. I am not someone that's sitting here saying everybody needs to be shooting 3s. Like, if your strength is getting downhill, well, you better be damn good at getting downhill, getting to the free throw line, drawing contact. And Jonathan, he does pretty well at getting to the free throw line. That's something that he's really had in his game and he continues to improve on. He's getting the little rip through stuff going for himself, which, even though I think every NBA fan can agree, not really a basketball play, adapt or die, right? It's just, who doesn't have that? It's kind of something you need until they just outright ban the rip through. Do it. Do it until the coach says stop or whatever happens. Like, you got to keep doing it. So I'm proud of Kuminga, who had a great game. And this is just one of those where it's like a double-edged sword because A lot of the Kuminga fans are going to start saying, see, you don't have to make any trades. Kuminga can be that third scorer, that second scorer. And, my response is always the same. It's like, he played great tonight. But now tomorrow, or today, they play the Kings. Is he going to look the same? Is he going to have another night where he puts up 20 points on just good efficiency, where he's playing good defense, where he's shooting well from the free throw line, where he's active on the glass, where he's not turning the ball over a ton? That's the thing. Kuminga has games like this where he looks incredible and you see the potential. But then he has other games where he's just a rookie. Or not a rookie, but a young player. And you see the flaws and the inconsistencies and the inefficiency and the turnovers and the decision-making. It's kind of the rough thing. So, I beg the question, is Jonathan Kuminga the answer? And I think no. I don't think he is. I think it's still pretty paramount that the Warriors try and move him at the deadline and bring in a veteran, like a legit veteran. Again, we detailed it in that last video. Preferably Jeremy Grant or Mikal Bridges would be perfect. Could Kuminga be better than the both of them 3, 4, 5 years from now? Would not shock me. Would not shock me one bit. And, I know the NBA fandom is kind of one of those things where, they're like, look, he's going to be good down the line, and then he is. And they're like, see, we told you. It's like no one ever is doubting that Kuminga can't be a great player. It's that you're trying to win with a certain group of guys, and he doesn't fit that group. Kuminga needs to be on a young team where he's getting 30-plus minutes, and he gets to work through his mistakes all the time. And right now, even though he has those flashes of great play, the inconsistencies show too much. Steve Kerr has a short leash with him. This team doesn't have much room for error, especially right now. Again, I want them to lose, but realistically, they probably can't afford to lose many more games. Otherwise, they might be completely out of it. So, I don't think Jonathan Kuminga is the answer. I think he's a great young player. The Giannis comparisons, kind of a stretch in my opinion. I don't think that's gonna be a thing, but I do think Jonathan Kuminga can be kind of a number 2 down the road for some teams fighting for a championship. He's got that ability. He's got the athleticism, and he plays with the passion. It's just right now, it's not what the Warriors need to succeed. So, yeah, kind of a short video today, but just wanted to recap that Warriors game a little bit. Again, still some of the same issues. Secondary scoring, Clay and Steph both still kind of struggling a little bit to score efficiently. But again, we know why. I talked about it yesterday. They just don't have a legit number 2, which means no one's really worried about anyone. So Steph and Clay, they're just getting defended more than anyone. You can't really do anything about it, Getting attacked at the rim, Hawks were still doing that. Still scored 112 points, which is not great. It's not horrid, but it's not great. A team down Trae Young, you kind of wish you could keep them under 110 points. But they need to make some moves, and I don't think Jonathan Kuminga is going to be helping him get to a championship this season, next season. I think that position should be held for a guy like Jeremy Grant or Mikal Bridges, who can immediately come in and make an impact to the point where the Warriors do get over the hump. So, yeah, like the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. If you think Kuminga can help this team win, let me know why. All that good stuff. Again, podcast playlist is in the description. We'll be uploading again tomorrow. So if you're interested, check that out. And yeah, man, have a good rest of your week. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.